Good morning, students. Students, we are doing the chapter soil, in which we discussed about the importance of soil as a natural resource, then formation of soil, and then layers of soil, which is known as soil horizons, and the arrangement of these layers is known as soil profile. And we discussed about all the layers of the soil. Now, today I am going to explain the properties of soil. The first one is soil texture. The texture of soil depends mainly on the relative size of the soil particles. As you know that soil particles are produced as a result of weathering of rocks. They are produced from the rocks. So they do not have the particles of same size. The particles of the soil are different in size and feel also. The bigger coarse soil particles are termed as sand. The smaller particles that are smooth, they are termed as clay. The intermediate particles that are neither very rough nor too smooth are termed as silt. So, a mixture of soil particles and humus forms the soil. The soil also has living organisms like bacteria, roots of plants, insects, and earthworms. On the basis of soil texture, soil is classified into three categories. The first one is sandy soil, clay soil, and loamy soil. Let us discuss them one by one. Sandy soil have soil particles that are bigger in size. That means the particles of sandy soils have big size. The large spaces between them are filled with air. The space between the bigger particles are filled with air. They are therefore said to be well aerated. Such soils cannot retain water because there is large air space between the particles, so they cannot retain water, as water can drain out quickly through the spaces between the sand particles. Sandy soil needs more frequent irrigation for successful crop growth. If we want to grow crop in this soil, then what we have to do? We will do more frequent irrigation in this soil for the growth of crops. The second is clayey soil, which have a higher proportion of fine and smooth soil particles. There is very little space between the soil particles. The air space between the particles of clayey soil is very little. Such soils cannot retain air. But clay soils can retain more water than sandy soil due to the less air space between the particles. This high water holding capacity of clay soils can cause problems like water logging in the fields. The third one is loamy soil. It is a mixture of sand, silt, and clay particles. All three types of particles are present in loamy soil. It can hold both air and water. Loamy soil has humus also, so it is considered to be the best soil for growing most of the crops. Next property of soil is soil structure. All of you have ever made a mud ball, a ball using mud, and all of you know that the soil particles have a tendency to stick together. They want to stick together. It would be difficult to make mud balls with sand because sand particles do not stick together in the same way as the finer clay particles do. That means clay particles stick together very easily, but the particles of sand do not stick together. A sandy soil may be structureless because sand grains behave independently of each other. That means you can separate the particles of sand, but you can't separate the particles of clay. Clay soils, on the other hand, have the tendency to stick together. So some of the soil particles have the tendency to stick together, others do not have the tendency to stick together. Next property of soil is plasticity and cohesion. Plasticity is the property that enables moist soil to change its shape on application of force and retain this shape even when the force is withdrawn. That means the moist soil is enabled to change its shape on application of force and remains in the same shape even when the force is withdrawn. That means after withdrawal of force, the soil has the same shape. On the basis, sandy soils may be considered to be non-plastic and clay soils to be plastic. The tendency of similar particles to stick one another is known as cohesion. This is another property of soil. This is the tendency of similar particles to stick to one another and it is known as cohesion. Plastic soils are cohesive. Plasticity and cohesion reflect the consistency and workability of the soils, and this property is utilized in practice for making clay pots and terracotta toys. And the another property is soil density. Soils having larger particles usually have a higher weight per unit volume than those having smaller particles. That means the density of smaller particles is less than the density of larger particles because they have a higher weight per unit volume. Another property is infiltration rate and percolation rate. Absorption of water by the soil depends on its infiltration and percolation rate. Now, what is these two, infiltration rate and percolation rate? Infiltration is the rate at which water enters a soil. At the rate which water enters the soil is known as infiltration rate, and the rate at which water moves through a soil is known as percolation rate. There is a little bit difference between these two. Infiltration is the rate at which water enters a soil and percolation is the rate at which water moves through a soil. These are the key factors in determining the suitability of a soil for growing crops. These two factors also influence the formation of natural wildlife habitats. Cemented and concrete floors cannot absorb water and water cannot enter or move through such areas. Soil type is very important in understanding the rate of absorption and retention of water in the soil. Some soils, such as clay soils, take up water very slowly and also hold it well. They do not drain well. Sandy soils absorb water well but do not hold it well. They allow water to drain out quickly. Soils with high humus content hold the water well and do not let it drain out very fast because of their high organic contents. So students, we have discussed all properties of soil today. We will do the composition of soil in next class. So that's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.